Hi guys, welcome back to Amara and Kenya. My name is Amara. Today our discussion will be based on report writing, which is a tax 1 in Ielts academic writing. So if you're writing Ielts academic, this video is for you. We'll be giving some tips on how to write a report writing, and we'll be having a sample here. So if this is your first time here, click on the subscribe button, like our videos, drop a comment, check our previous videos, check our playlist. We have videos for reading, for listening. You can watch them, like them, drop a comment if you have any. Now let's proceed. IELTS report writing, you will be presented with a graph, chart, table or diagram, and you'll be asked to describe or to explain and give information in your own words. You may be asked to describe a data, describe the stages of a process, how something works, or describe an event or an object. You'll be given 20 minutes for this, and you'll be asked to write 150 words. You can write more than 150 words, but please do not write less than. It takes out of your marks. Now, you also do not write in slangs and do not write in bullet point or notes. There are 6 types of charts in report writing, and you can come across any of them when writing a report writing. We have the process diagrams, bar charts, pie charts, maps, tables, line graphs. Now, note that this is a factual report. Your opinion is not needed. A conclusion is not needed. It's a factual report. You're reporting what you have seen in your own words. Now that's on report writing. Now let's move into more details on report writing. When you're given a chart to write on, there are 4 things that you need to write, or in some cases 5. Now you need your introduction, an overview, body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, and in some cases body paragraph 3. Most times it just needs 2 body paragraphs, but in a case where more data are given and you want to explain it clearly and precisely, you include a 3rd body paragraph. Now let's move to introduction. Your introduction is done by paraphrasing the title of the graph and the information from the chart provided. Now they've given you the chart and they've given you some information about the chart. So your introduction will be to paraphrase the words that's been given to you, the information that's been given to you, and include or write them in your own words. You're paraphrasing. You will take some data that has been provided and you use it to write your introduction. Do not write write word for word for what was given to you. Change some of them. Yes, you can retain some words, but not all. You can change the format it was given, the structure of the sentence, or you can change words, replace them with synonyms. Just ensure you paraphrase the information that has been given to you. Secondly, include the unit of measurement. If it was measured in percentage, include it in your introduction. If it was measured in millions, when it has to do with number of people, you include it. If it was measured in currency, you include it. Ensure you include the unit of measurement in your introduction. That is how you write your introduction. Paraphrasing. You check out the data, take out some information there, and the information that was provided, you paraphrase it. You write your unit of measurement. Now, I'll be giving you some ways in which you can start your introduction. You can start with the chart illustrates. Now, the chart there is because I use the chart there because I don't know the type of report writing I'll be giving. For instance, if they give you a line graph, you would use the line graph illustrates. If it is on pie chart, the pie chart illustrates. If it's a process diagram, the process diagram illustrates. That's how you do it. Or you can also write the line graph shows. You can also go with the pie chart gives information about. You can write the line graph compares. Now when you're comparing two things, two data, you can use the line graph compares. Now these are ways in which you can write an introduction. Now after writing your introduction, you go for your overview. What's the overview? Now that's an overall view of the data. It contains the key features on that data, maybe some which are higher, which are lower, or the overall of it. Please do not include precise data when writing an overview. That you go and mention a particular year, or you pick out a percentage and include it. It's no longer an overview, and when there is no overview, you lose points, you lose scores. So do not include precise information. Just look at the charts provided, take out the overall view of what you can see. If there are some that have increased, just say overall, we can see that some so increased. Overall of it. You can include some key features, like maybe this particular, while so and so increased, so and so decreased. Those are key features. Some increased, some decreased. Or you can just write an overall of it. Now, there are ways in which you can start your overview. You can start with overall. It can be seen that. You can also start with it is noticeable that. You can start with the main facts that stand out are. You can also start with overall. It is immediately apparent that. Another good way to start is it is important to note that. Now, these are ways in which you can start your overview. Now, after you write your overview, we move to writing your body paragraphs. To write your body paragraphs well, you need to be able to group information. Grouping information is looking for similarities in the charts. Then you write them together. You can look for those that increased or those that decreased. You can write for those that increased, or you can write for those that increased. If it is a chart that has to do with activities, you look for activities that go together. Let's say house chores that go together. Then leisure activities or sporting activities. You group them according to how they have similarities. You can group based on which used more data or which used lesser data. Now that's how you group. Now please note, when there's a time frame, what is a time frame? A time frame is probably they gave you from 2016 to 2020, or from January to March, or they gave you a time frame from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. Then you would use a language of change. A language of change is used to describe changes that has occurred. Examples are increased steadily, increased gradually, increased dramatically or significantly, plunged to, peaked at, moderately fell, fluctuated, remained constant. These are examples of language of change. You include them when a time frame has been given. Now, aside from including them, you also use words that you use to compare and contrast. That is how you write when a time frame has been given. But when there is no time frame, that's they didn't give you from so time to so time, you use just words used to compare and contrast. Some of them are while, although, in contrast, however, on the one hand, whereas, as opposed to more, similar pattern. These are ways in which you can compare and contrast. So when there is no time frame, you make use of this. Grouping can be done in any way. Please note that there is no right or wrong answer when grouping. There's no right way, there's no wrong way. But when you are grouping, ensure that what you are grouping shares similarities. And when they share similarities, it will be able for you to read. It will be able for the examiner to read. That is how that's how you group. In a logical way. When the examiner is reading, he doesn't have to be scrolling, checking. He will confirm this, come back, he will confirm this, then he will go back and check the graph. You come back and see what you've written. So it's important you group logically and in a clear way. How do you group? I've said it before. You check those that share similarities. Trends, those that have similar trends, they are increasing together, they are decreasing together. That's how you group. Now we'll be looking at an example. We'll be writing on a line graph. We'll discuss it here together, how to write a complete line graph. Report it the exact same way without giving my opinion or my introduction, or rather on my conclusion. There will be an introduction, an overview, body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2. It will be stated in this our example. Now check this out. This is a line graph. Now this line graph, we can see that some increased, 2 of them are increasing, 2 of them are decreasing. If you look at it, 4 countries were given. Sweden has the blue color, France has the orange color, Denmark has the lemon color, while Germany has the purple color. We can also see a time frame has been given from 1995 to 2010. It was also measured in percentage. Now you can see we've checked out all the informations there. We've analyzed in percentage. There's a time frame, which means we'll use our language of change. We can see a year, European countries has been given. Now for our introduction, we start with the line graph compares, because there are 4 countries there, so it's comparing. The line graph compares the production of energy from coal in Sweden, France, Denmark, and Germany between 1995 and 2010. That's our time frame. That's the introduction. You've talked about what the graph is talking about. You've mentioned the country, you've mentioned the time frame. That's how simple your introduction is. Now, moving on to overview. How do we write our overview? Overall, the percentage of energy produced from coal declined in all 4 countries over the time frame. That's my summary. Some of them, they were at a high point from a particular year, and they all declined. It's there. That's a summary of the whole thing. You see that I didn't have to go and pick precise data or precise information and included it there. I didn't have to do that. I've also included the units at which it was mentioned. When I said the percentage of energy produced from coal declined in all 4 countries over the time frame, the percentage, I've included that it was measured in percentage. Now that's your overview. Now, how can we group this? If you look at the line graph properly, you would see that Denmark and Germany started at a very high point. They are sharing a similarity. They started very high and they dropped so low. Now, that's a similarity. While Sweden and France did not really start high and they reduced just a little bit before staying constant. Now, both of them share a similarity. Now, for me to group my body paragraph 1, I would group Denmark and Germany together because both of them started high and dropped very low. While I would group Sweden and France in my body paragraph 2 because both of them started very low and just with time they remained constant. Please, when you're writing your body paragraph, start with the interesting datas. Those ones that are interesting. Leave the less interesting one for maybe your body paragraph 2. The interesting one here is both of them started very high and dropped significantly. Now, my body paragraph 1 will say, there was a dramatic fall in the production in Denmark and Germany. Denmark's production of energy from coal stood at 60%. You can see it there, 60% in 1995, higher than other 4 countries. However, production levels dropped sharply over the next 15 years to finish at 10% in 2010, which was the lowest of that year. See that I didn't have to go and start picking in 1998 it did this, in 2001 it did this, no, I just went straight from it stood at where it started from, then it dropped significantly. You should be able to mention key features. You won't have time to start explaining in details every change that you notice, so you select the key changes and write on them. Key changes. Don't write on every change because at the end of the day you see you've written 300 words. That's too much. So select the key changes and write on them. I started with how Denmark started at a very high point and it dropped to be the one with the lowest. I didn't have to go from year to year. I just said over the next 15 years it dropped. Now, let's move on. Energy production from coal in Germany followed a similar pattern, beginning the period at just under 60% and falling significantly, though unlike Denmark, it fell to a low of only 5% in 2007 and then increased again to approximately 18%. Look at it. After it dropped, it increased again. And I've included it. The same way I didn't have to start going through all the year that was given and explaining each and every one of them. Now, for my body paragraph 2, I'll be talking about Sweden and France. In contrast, I'm comparing now. Sweden and France saw more moderate falls over the period. 35% of energy came from coal in Sweden in 1995. And its proportion gradually declined over the period to finish at approximately 28% in 2010. The highest of the 4 countries, that at the end of the day, it finished highest of the 4 countries. That's, I've given it on how it fell gradually, then at the end of the day, it finished to maintain a constant rate. Now, while the percentage produced in France remained just under that of Sweden over the 15-year period. I didn't write so much, just look at the graph, it remained under it. It just remained under. That's all I had to read about it. Write about it rather. So you don't have to go from year to year. You should be able to select key features and write on them. Now that's how you write a line graph. I also would want you to know, for you to have a comprehensive and well written report writing, tax 1. There should be an introduction, there should be an overview. You should have mix of complex sentences. Write them. Appropriate language of change. I've given you the types of language of change, so it should be there. You should have variety of sentence type. Simple sentence, complex sentence, compound sentence, they should be there. You should have good organization, easy way to read. You should have appropriate data selection, that's grouping. See how I grouped mine? The 2 that were highest, the 2 that were the lowest. And you should use accurate grammar. If you check my writing, there was no grammatical error. I wrote in a way that it was free of any error, to be easy for the examiner to read. I arranged it logically. So this would help you write a proper report writing. Don't forget, if you look at it, I didn't have any opinion there. I didn't have any conclusion there. If you can write like this, then you are looking at that band 8+ in your tax 1. Now, as usual, I'll be giving a take-home assignment, and I'll be looking for your answer in the comment section. Now, look at this this line graph. Write an introduction to it and write an overview. I've given you how you can write your introduction and how you can start. I've also shown you how you can write an overview and how you can start. So use this information that I've given to you to write this line graph. I want to see it on the comment section. Thank you for watching. We've come to the end of today's section. Please keep up with us. We'll be posting more videos on different charts in academic writing, and we'll have examples of them too. So keep up with us. Don't forget to subscribe if this is your first time here. Like this video, go to our other previous videos, check them out, check out our playlist. Drop a comment if you have any of them. I'll see you next time. Until then, bye.